I'm your host, Tiffany Gilliland, an Australian business and mindset coach with 10 years' experience in online marketing and the creator of the Business Bravery framework. I help coaches to be brave so you can sign more clients even if you hate marketing and sales feel icky. From signing your next paying clients through to launching that dream group coaching program, the Business Bravery framework helps you take bigger leaps without the mindset spirals. It's helped my clients double their investment in me, make thousands of dollars, and truly build their dream business. In this episode, I had the pleasure of chatting with Grace Nelson, who is a financial empowerment coach. She specializes in supporting women in corporate start their own business to kickstart their multi-five-figure business while in a 9 to 5. Grace believes that it is simply not okay to be stuck in a job where you are not living up to your full potential and you know deep down that you're capable of so much more. She has over a decade's worth of business experience and understands what it's like to have an idea you're passionate about, but not knowing how to make it a profitable reality, so you can have a reliable income other than your job. She's also the co-founder of Think, Create, Initiate method, alongside her business partner and bestie, Charlotte Barrett. Their method supports women in corporate to start their own multi-five-figure online business from scratch whilst in a 9 to 5. She has over a decade of small business experience and has helped hundreds of women clarify their business idea and get their first few paid clients online. Her success portfolio also extends to working with micro enterprises, SMEs, universities, and large corporate organizations worldwide, like the Google campus, the Google campus to deliver bespoke business startup workshops. In 2020, during the height of the global pandemic, Grace became a new mum to her beautiful daughter, Eliza Ray, and went on to scale her business to her first 18K months while still in a 9 to 5 and continues to grow a multi-five-figure business. With that said, this is an amazing episode, and I can't wait to share with you Grace's stories of business bravery, past, present, and future. Now, who's ready for some business bravery inspiration? Let's dive in. Hi, everyone. I am here this week with the amazing Grace Nelson, who is a financial empowerment coach. And I am so excited to get in and hear all of her stories of bravery, past, present, and future. And I'm so excited about this one, and especially because financial stuff is stuff that I'm working on and want to know more about myself. So, completely selfishly, I'm super excited to be here just for me, too. So, Grace, thank you so much for joining me this week and tell me all about you and your business and what brave things you're doing at the moment.
Well, firstly, thank you, Tiffany, for having me. I'm excited to be here on your fantastic show. And yeah, hey to all the listeners out there. So, like Tiffany said, I am a financial empowerment coach, and I started my entrepreneurial journey in ooh, I would say in terms of where I am now in 2018. That's where I really kind of hyper focus to be doing what I'm doing, which is online coaching. Although it's taken a different form and guise to what it was in 2018, but it's still online coaching. And essentially now I support women who are in a 9 to 5, women like me, because I'm still in a 9 to 5, to start and grow an online digital marketing business. So helping them to leverage their income, to double, triple, quadruple, 5x their current income so that they can start to do more, because we all have these big goals, big desires. And with the cost of living increasing, all across the world, it's kind of supporting women that you don't have to just rely on a single income stream, which could just dry up any moment. Because if the pandemic taught us anything, is that your job can just go like that. So many people made unemployed or were furloughed and really struggled during those months of the pandemic. So it's kind of giving women back their personal power to go on to tap into their skills, their knowledge, to monetize that by doing something that they love. And that could be something much bigger than them. So that's
Mm.
essentially what I'm doing now.
Yes. Oh my gosh, it's so powerful and important too, just because I know like there were like a number of friends of mine who it's like previously it was like, oh yeah, the job is safe, job is secure. And then all
Mm-hmm.
of a sudden, 2020, it just absolutely wasn't. And yes,
Yeah,
oh
a lot
man.
of our eyes were opened in 2020. I mean, yeah, mine especially, I saw, because in 2020, actually, I was on maternity. I had
Oof.
my first
Yeah.
daughter, who's now 3,
Mm,
my only child at the moment.
mm,
Thank God blesses me with many more. And it was a real eye opener for me
mm,
because when you're on maternity leave, your
mm,
income starts to drop month
yeah.
after month. And, to ride it out, I mean, I know most women out there don't get the luxury of having 12
Mm,
months maternity leave.
mm,
Some have to go back to work after even a couple of months.
mm,
But myself, I just wanted to be there for the first full year with my daughter because that was the bonding time, and I
mm,
was navigating as a first time mum. And it was actually in that first year when having my precious daughter in my arms, I'm recovering from my C-section, I thought to myself, I don't really want to go back to work. I want to spend more time with my daughter. And that's the mindset shift that got me to my highest ever month to that date, which was an 18K month, 3 months after I gave birth, which was like, whoa, like what's happened here? I've been struggling, all before this very moment, but now
mm.
I've got an additional, well, a child in my life, a dependent. Something just shifted in me to just motivate me to go on, double down on what I'm doing, my strategy, put myself out there, fearless. I could say actually, Tiffany, I was fearless, just going out there, doing what it took so that I can start to really increase my income as well.
Oh my gosh, I can just kind of imagine that. And I find it fascinating, like myself and clients of mine, people I know, that decision to, I'm going to make this work, as opposed
Yeah,
to, I think a lot of the times in the beginning of business, we often show up with this energy of, will this work? Can I make this
yeah,
work? I'm still testing it. But then there's this decision that happens where it's like, no, I have to make this work for some reason, or I'm done messing around. I'm going to make this work. And then
yeah,
things changed.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Like, how
exactly
did
that.
you
I think
find that for you? Yeah.
so. Yeah,
Mm.
just like, sort of following on from that great point, Tiffany. I
Mm.
think it was because my why got bigger. My why got bigger, and I also became more connected to my why because I now had a child, another person that was looking up to her mummy. And I wanted to, go on adventures with her, my husband, and travel to this place, that place, get our first home, our first house in London. All of these things that I'd always kind of been tiptoeing around when I was manifesting, it all almost locked in when she was born. And I thought, yes, now is the time. I became more deeply connected to my why. And I guess, my mindset elevated, and I knew that in order to further myself with my business, I had to invest. I'm a big fan of investment. I coach, so people invest in me. So I all coaches need coaches, as they say. So I actually invested in a 20K mastermind. And at that time, well, when the figure dropped, actually, it was nerve wracking. And there were all the thoughts of, how the beep am I going to afford it? And I don't encourage anyone to do this, but sometimes I make financial decisions on my own without informing my husband. So he'll only know way after, probably when the actual mastermind is finished, then he'll get to know. But I mean, nowadays I keep him informed, so because I want him to be part of my journey and everything. And it's something that I would readily, if any woman's out there kind of sitting on the fence or not sure whether to speak to her partner, bring your partners are there to support you essentially. So they might have their hesitations, but if this is your dream, then it's not a case of asking for their permission. It's just informing them, this is what I'm doing. Support me on it, or don't say anything. So I I invested. It was a big amount of money. I did do payment plans, but it was that kind of being in this intimate container circle with other women, or, we some were a bit further ahead, some were a bit further behind, but we were all kind of calibrating to this level, this constant level where we were just fearless, brave, going out there, courageous, going out there, showing values, sharing our personal story, which is something that I wasn't readily doing all the time on social media, showing all parts of me. But once I started to kind of do that and go out there in my most authentic self, that's when I saw my online sales start to increase. And that led me to my 18K month, 3 months after I invested in that mastermind.
Gosh, wow. Gosh, so many questions I want to ask. Okay, I'm going to start. This is probably not the
Yeah.
most obvious question, but what what steps did you do for you to be more authentic? Yeah.
I think, and that's a great question. So, for me to be authentic, I just released any thinking around it, because to be truly authentic, it's just being real, showing up. So I would show up and do Instagram lives, Facebook lives, so unpolished. When I do lives, I kind of stumble over my words, but people love that. It's real. They can connect to that realness.
Mm.
I before, when I did my first ever Facebook Live was shocking. It was so scripted and robotic. It was horrendous. So I need to find that and probably delete it. But no, just showing up, just sharing my story and letting people know that there's a real human here. And part of my story, Tiffany, is that I do have an autoimmune condition. So there's some times, even, weeks or months, where I physically can't do much. I need to rest because my body is, very much inflamed and swollen. So all of this, I was readily sharing with my audience. They were asking questions like, Grace, how do you do it? You're a superwoman. You're wearing all the hats. You're 9 to 5. You're a CEO. That's what they call me online. Yet you're experiencing this autoimmune condition. And I've learned over the years that everything has its time and place. So when I need to rest, I rest. And when I need to show up, I show up, because I'm very mindful of my energy. If I go all in and hyper focus, then it just drains me completely. And I'll probably need to take a few days just to recover and recuperate. So I have on days and off days mixed into my working week so that I can show up in my most truest, authentic self and show up with the energy that I want to show up in.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah, for myself, I too have like chronic pain and chronic
Mm-hmm.
health stuff that I have to manage. And it's like I've found the hard way many times that if I don't
Yes.
put in the time off or the breaks or that kind of thing, during my week as part of my week, then my body just goes, no, 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 we're not doing this anymore. And then it's brain fog and
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
exhaustion and there's all these things on the calendar that I kind of can't do and that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Exactly that. Yeah. We've got to listen to our bodies. Exactly that.
Yeah. It's so funny how it just took me so long to learn that of just, hey, if I have control now and put in the breaks and the time off now, then I have less of these times where my body goes, no, 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 we're not doing this anymore.
Yeah. 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 Exactly.
Such a
And
slow learner.
I've got to say, Tiffany, within that kind of period of arriving at this point of, Grace, you need to rest, your body's calling for rest, I had to release a lot of guilt. I always felt guilty when I was resting. I felt like I've got to give it my all, even push through the rest. But now I really understand the importance of rest, just as you do as well.
Mm, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's funny with the guilt too about resting. I know it's something that so many of us sort of deal with as well. And it's just I find it fascinating how like there's a lot of people out there who don't have any guilt about it at all, but then those
Yeah.
of us who have these big dreams, it's like the one thing we can control, I guess, is maybe working harder. And then you see all these things online where it's like, oh, well, if you're not making the money, it's because you're not working hard enough.
Yeah.
And yet I think
Yes.
there's many of us who just naturally we do work hard and yes, and yet at the same time I had to kind of learn that rest was productive and
Yes.
that
Yes.
helps me be more
Exactly.
productive. Yeah.
Exactly that.
Yeah.
Exactly that.
So back to your story then about investing in the coach, and you said you're on a payment plan. Was the with the payment plan, like, did you still have enough money in your savings to cover everything, or was it a case of, okay, I've got enough to cover like the first one or two installments, and then this has got to start happening straight away? Like, what was, if you don't mind me
It,
asking, what was the
yeah, no,
situation for
no,
you?
I appreciate that. Yeah. So I had probably a half in my savings, and the
Mm,
other half I was praying for divine intervention
mm.
at the
Okay.
time. So yeah, that's where I guess a lot of the fear around, oh my God, can I really do this? But it was actually within that program I learned to reframe my thoughts and understand more about our thoughts creating our reality. So just working on my thoughts, which affect my feelings, and these overturning these ingrained beliefs as well. So I was then going out there and attracting the money. And, I would randomly get money sometimes. I did get some money from my mum, who did help me on that one. And I did get a small loan, which I was able to pay off quite quickly as well, just to sort of cover me as well. And then also with the clients that were coming in, that was helping me to pay off the investment. So I was able to do that within it was a 3 months coaching program, but I did it twice, hence the 20K. So yeah, it was 6 months altogether.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. And yeah, so what was one of like the powerful shifts that you made during that, like the perspective shifts or thought reframes, if you don't mind
Yeah.
sharing?
So there was this exercise that I did where it broke down into this acronym: your circumstances, your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, results,
Oh, yes.
CTFAR.
Yes, yes. I'm really
Yeah, yeah,
familiar
you're
with that.
familiar. Okay,
Yes.
yeah. So what I learned is that our circumstances are neutral. If I've got £0 in my bank or dollars,
Mm,
there's no, don't put any energy towards that. It's zero, that's fact. So it was looking at two different scenarios where what are my thoughts and feelings about the $0 in my bank, my current thoughts, and then looking at my more elevated thoughts about that same zero in my bank with my new reframed thoughts.
mm,
So, that same zero in my bank, my new reframed thoughts would be, okay, I know that I can make money in my business because I've
mm,
got the proof, I've got the evidence, I've made money in my business before. And
mm,
then my feelings will start to connect with that thought, which will then translate into the actions I'm going out with. So doing lives, showing up, creating really, good, valuable content that people can actually, whether they buy or not, actually get a takeaway from it, actually come out better or more knowledgeable than they were before they consumed my content. And that's where I started to see the shift in my results. I started to attract also more empowered women into my community because before I noticed I was attracting a lot of women who were in a victim mentality.
mm,
And I feel at the time it was because I was almost putting myself in that victim mentality as well because I had limited thoughts, but yet I was trying to go out there
mm.
and sell my products, but the internal shift hadn't quite happened at the time.
Yeah, yeah. And I definitely think that definitely happens in that, like, the space that you're in, you attract that to you, even if you don't mean to. Like, it just,
Mm,
so like, and then you kind of, if you're not working with a coach yourself and you're not working through some of this stuff yourself, then you will attract people who are kind of a bit like you. Like, I see it reflecting back at me all the time, and I go, oh,
yeah,
yeah, I need to work on this thing or that thing and get, yeah.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
So it's a mirror effect. What you're
Yeah.
seeing out there is just reflected back
Mm,
at you. So that's the
yeah.
areas that you need to change or work upon as well.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
fantastic how just everything just it's all for your betterment, essentially. Anything that's out there is feedback to yourself almost. That's what you
Yes.
need to look into and change.
Mm, yeah. Oh my gosh. So with your clients then, and with the financial empowerment, then kind of what stage are people at before they work with you? And like, what are they stuck with? And then how do they work with you through that?
So I would say that at least 80% of my clients now are completely new to the online world. All they know is that they've got a deep passion, they've got the curiosity, they've got the drive, they've got the ambition, and they want to actually leverage their income because they've got plans and they want all that good stuff, financial freedom, time freedom. And many are mums with young children. So they want to be able to spend more time with the children, go pick them up from school, attend all the school plays essentially. So they're coming to me with maybe little to no prior knowledge about starting an online business or entering into the world of digital marketing or having a handle on their finances, essentially. So my work really is around one, the mindset, the energy work as well, because energy is very important when it comes to starting, growing, scaling a business. But it's also to create that passive income product, that digital product that they can sell on. It becomes their asset for life, but they can kind of be arm's length to their business because the product will start to sell itself. So many go down the passive or semi-passive route as well, which is where I actually pivoted over the last couple of months because as my priority was more my health, I didn't want to be too on my business because I used to do a lot of group coaching and one-to-one coaching. And as you will know, Tiffany, sometimes when you're coaching on that regular basis, it can be quite energetically draining because you're surrounded by these other people, whether it be women and men, and you're taking on their energies as well. And I found that it was impacting me physically. So I needed a way to pivot that I can still make my desired income months with my coaching, but not always having to be showing up on a, twice a week basis. So I pivoted, I kind of burnt down that business partially last year. And from September, I've pivoted more into selling one digital product and creating a semi or fully passive income stream.
Mm. Oh wow. Oh my gosh. So what were the brave steps you had to take to make that shift? Like did you have like did it come up and it was just like, yes, this is the way forward, this makes sense, or was there anything you had to work through to be brave to do that? Yeah.
So everything came to, and that's another fantastic question. Everything came to head in August last year because my health deteriorated. And, like with some of us, when it comes to being brave, and like you said in the beginning, actually, Tiffany, maybe there's a circumstance where we almost kind of hit rock bottom or near rock bottom, or there's some event in our life that just becomes our wake up call that something needs to change. And it was in August when my health pivoted and I was in bed for about a month, just really, really unwell physically. Lots of different joints were swollen. And I thought, as I sit there lying in my bed, I just felt there's got to be a way that I can have a business where I'm still making money, still transforming lives, but I'm not almost, what's it called, stuck to the laptop, essentially. Yeah. So I was praying and in the same time manifesting the answer. And that time I was in my mind going for 20K months. For some reason, that was the nominal figure that kept coming to my mind. I need the answer to 20K months. And I was tapping into my subconscious because our subconscious holds all the answers. So I kept asking my subconscious, how did I make 20K months? How did I? And this was my routine every night whilst I was in bed. And then 3 days later, the answer came in the form of someone's stories on Instagram, how she too had been unwell for a couple of months. She decided to burn down her whole business and had pivoted to selling this particular digital product, which comes with master resale rights. So essentially, it's a done for you digital marketing course that you can then sell on for 100% profit.
Mm.
And it felt too good to be true. It's like, oh, okay, I've never heard about this. Am I what's going on. So I did do my due diligence and research, which didn't take long, to be honest. I know the lady that was doing it because we were in that same mastermind
Mm.
back in 2020 together. And
Mm.
I've been following her journey. So I
Yeah.
just thought, I'm all in. I'm all in. The answer's right here. I don't know how many times the answer can keep on appearing in front of me for me to take action. So I invested. It was a minimal investment for something
Mm.
that just gives you that. It opened me up to actually going forward to be making, anything between 5K to 20K months now, semi
Mm.
passively.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Mm. Wow. Okay. Yeah. It's really funny. I stumbled across the master resale rights like maybe like a few days ago, and now it's hitting me in the face every single day.
yes,
I'm just meeting people, and suddenly they're talking to me about it. Yeah. I don't know. I have some thoughts about it and everything, and like because it looks really good, but then at the same token, at some point, like everybody's selling the same thing to everybody else, and like at
yeah.
some point, like won't that run out? Like, sorry, do you mind me asking?
Yeah,
Since
no, they
yeah,
were my same thoughts as well. But with every product, you can add your own twist on it, and some people, like myself, do add extra bonuses, like whether it be having some extra calls or some other add-ons as well to create a more enhanced experience than just that digital course as well. And also with this particular product, some people do sell it on, but other people use it to actually leverage their own existing digital marketing business because the training in there is insane. And I've created courses in the past, and it just always became a headache when you had to kind of upgrade and just create new videos. And it was just finding the time to create the videos when half the family are trying to come into the room that you're recording in. So this is
yeah,
just brilliant because they keep on adding new videos and you get lifetime access to all the different upgrades and add-ons as well.
yeah. Oh, okay, hang on. So does that mean like if everybody's adding in their own bits and it's like say I bought it from you, but somebody, like like Jane down the street is also selling it. She's added her own videos. Would I then be able to see her stuff that she adds to it, or that's the like you have to go through her to see the stuff that she adds, and like I would only see
Yeah,
the stuff that
yeah,
you
the
add.
latter.
Is
Yeah,
that
you
right?
would have to go
Yeah.
for her. So you can actually
Yeah.
download all their
Mm.
videos and put it onto your own platform. And if you want to
Mm.
add videos or other trainings that you've done to it, so
Okay.
you've got your own suite of things that they can
Okay.
tap into. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah. Okay. Hmm. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Very, very interesting stuff. And yeah, definitely I can see how it's like opened up things for you and having that, like semi-passive income. So like what things do you have to do to sell that? Like, I mean, obviously it must be far less than what you were doing before, but you said like it's semi-passive. So what kind of things? Is it just creating the content and conversations with people or just creating content to promote it?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
exactly that. It's the
Mm.
content, but I love having conversations as well. So, on social media, I do a lot of engagement posts, whether that be in my stories or on my actual feed. And I've just recently taken more to TikTok as well. TikTok has
Yeah.
almost taken over my life. So just I'm having a brilliant time over there. So posting valuable content, doing, mini trainings, etc. And just it just seems to be almost selling itself because like with everything that we do, me and you, Tiffany, it's just about selling the
Mm.
benefits, why it will work for you right now,
Yeah.
essentially, and just sharing my story as to why I made the decision, how it's working for me, how it's working for some of my other clients as well.
Mm.
And with all these products, it's really just a mindset shift. If you believe it will work for you, it will work for you,
Yeah.
essentially. So, I've collected the evidence around me. It's working for other women like me, like myself. So
Mm.
I'm going out there in the same vein, knowing that it will work for me and it is working for me.
Mm. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that so powerful that knowing or like deciding that it will work like in all areas of business, whether
Yeah.
it's doing what you're doing or other things. I know I came across this thing recent. Oh, a few months ago about like instead of like the placebo effect, the nocebo effect. So
Mm.
if you kind of go in doubting that it's going to work, then that's the results you're absolutely going to create. Because yeah,
Yes, 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 yes.
yeah,
Exactly that.
and
Yeah.
that was a bit of an eye opener because so many things I would go into thinking, even though I have a background in online marketing for over 10 years, there's so many
Mhm.
things that I try. Like for clients, I could absolutely see it. It's like, yeah, this will absolutely work. But for
Yeah,
myself, there was always this tinge of, oh, I don't know if that's like gonna work for me. And so then that's what I would create because I'd be like, oh, I didn't fully believe it. And I
yeah,
wanted the universe to, or, like the results to come before I would believe it. But it's sort
yes,
of,
yeah.
yeah, it just
Uh,
didn't work out that way for me. It's like the belief has to come first, the vision and the belief has to come first.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I've been the same as you, Tiffany. It's taken me a while to get to that point where, it doesn't have to be seeing is believing. Believe and then I will see.
Mm,
And the way that I now approach my business is everything is an experiment. That way, there's no failures in what I
mm,
do. And I've actually reframed the word failure to fail forward because every fail forward is a step towards that success. I'm going to try this. I'm going to see if it works, and to be honest, with this new business, I will be giving it, at least 12 months to see if it works. You could do shorter, you could do 6 months, 9 months, but I'm fully invested in it and I'm seeing those results. And I'm going to be working on leveraging and scaling those results because I love to have that playful curiosity with what I'm doing. Even when it's posting a reel,
yeah.
some of my reels completely bomb and some actually blow up. So you never
Yeah.
know, what's going to work in your favor. But if you have that unwavering faith and belief throughout, then
Mm,
just any second, things could just, you could just quantum leap into the success that you desire. And
yeah.
that's what makes it so magical.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. So I have another question just from something you said a little while back. You talked about moving on to TikTok, and with the stuff that you're doing and the master resale rights, have you found over there that there's a bit more negativity to be had in the comments, or is that not what you're attracting, or is there anything, yeah, how's that going for you?
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
TikTok, no, I
Yeah.
haven't had any negativity, just a lot of spam. I do
Okay.
get a lot of spam in terms of people pitching,
Hmm.
holler at this person, you can get more followers, that type of spam. But
Yeah.
no, the TikTok crowds are brilliant, very
Yeah.
supportive.
Wow.
I'm getting engagement in most posts, not
Yeah.
all, but
Mm.
lots of views and lots of likes as well.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
I'm just kind of, because I enjoy it so much, I'm just consistently posting, and I do that thing where I kind of check a few seconds later to see how many views I've got, just a sneak peek. But I'm trying not to do that too much. I know it's something that most of us do get into the habit of. It's never really about the likes. The likes and the views are just vanity things. It's really about engagement. So I'm just really focusing on creating more engaging posts. And I'm seeing that change in my TikTok, and it's actually helping to drive up the number of followers as well,
Mm.
which is brilliant.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's awesome and
Join us,
so
Tiffany. If you're not
amazing.
on TikTok, come and join us over there.
Yeah, it's actually it's very much on my mind. Like I have a TikTok channel that I created, oh, I don't know, 18 months ago or something like
Mhm,
that.
mhm.
And it's got two videos on there or something, and they were not made natively for TikTok either. They're just
Okay.
some things that I did that I uploaded over there. And but there's all the stuff for the podcast that I want to start putting up there in some way. And yeah, it's definitely, yeah, I have to be brave.
Yes,
I
yes,
don't know, it's so
exactly that.
funny. Like all of these social medias, it's like the minute everybody moves over to a different social media, that's when I like get really focused on the one that everybody left because I know there's less people.
Yeah.
So the chance of
So I
negative
think,
feedback is, but I want to grow. And so I know that I need to be okay with the negative feedback. I think I'm in a much better place than I was even 12 months ago to be able to handle negative feedback if it comes up and that kind of stuff. So
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, once you get negative feedback, you almost kind of know that you've made it,
Oh
because
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's got that thing about, yes, I've made it. People are actually criticizing me. So your name even starts to blow up even more on social media. So
Yeah.
I need
Yeah.
to arrive at your point, Tiffany, get more
Yeah.
negative feedback.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's kind of funny. Like I worked for an influencer years ago, and he had millions of followers, and then he started getting this negative feedback and stuff. And he's like, "Oh yeah, we've made it." That was his whole reaction. He's like, "Oh yeah, we've made it. This is awesome." And I was just like, "Oh wow!" But yeah, it's one thing to know that logically, but then emotionally and things like
Yes,
that, I just
yeah,
yeah. So it's creating that maybe thicker skin or something like that. Because I mean, like honestly, if it's just like the odd negative comment, that's fine. But then yeah, there is that the situation where and it's like I don't want to say it out loud because I don't want to create that for myself. But
yeah,
it's like
yeah,
the situation of just like the feeling of the whole internet just going, no, just piling on and just,
yeah. No, it's not easy, and I remember on Facebook, because I used to spend a lot of time on Facebook, and I would
Mm,
have people arguing against the point that I'd raised, and it was getting into a full blown argument on social media.
mm,
And I had to remember that, look, don't take this personally. And also, other people could have their own views, just because up until that point, everybody was always agreeing with what I was saying. Oh, Grace, this is fantastic. But it takes for somebody to actually just say the polar opposite,
mm,
and that just it helped me to step forward as a coach to really kind of reinforce as to why I think that, and to
mm,
build on my rationale. So that was kind of a scary thing for me, but something I was able to navigate through, to just stand firm with my own point, but also embracing that other people can have
mm,
their own opinions and stances on things. It's not just a one cut or one
mm.
size fits all society.
Mm, yeah. Oh wow. Yeah, definitely. That's definitely it. It's like I mean, and I don't mind people having their own opinions and things like that when it's directed about the thing that I'm talking about or something like that. It's when it gets personal,
Yeah.
like I'm not a stick thin girl, like, and I never have been. Like, that's not my
Mhm.
body type either. And and that, and I'm like these things that get in my head. It's like I'm not in my 20s, I'm not even in my 30s, and it's like, yeah, I'll get on TikTok like all the young kids. That's where like TikTok in my head has just been like,
Yeah.
oh
Yeah.
yeah. But by the same token, like I hear like there's plenty of people who are going over there at all ages, and yeah, so
There's
it's
so
just
many. Tiffany,
yeah.
just before I actually joined you today, I actually saw a woman on my For You page on TikTok who must have been about 90 years old, doing a TikTok about
So
her skincare routine. So there's people of all ages on there, and she's
yeah.
got millions of followers.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
She's got millions of followers. So it's for all ages, and it's just.
Yeah.
But what I find, TikTok, they love the real stuff.
Mm.
So all the education training things, that's all secondary. It's the
Yeah.
real stuff behind the scenes.
Mm.
It's the kind of it's
Yeah.
almost like those reality series. That's what they
Mm.
love to see on there. So I'm trying to mix up my content on there to incorporate a bit of that
Mm.
more
Yeah.
entertaining, engaging stuff.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah, I want to be doing more of that too, or just like, windows into my life or something like that, just to sort of show what I'm doing. Although for me, like my my business is it's just like it's so much just at a computer. Like
You are not alone there, Tiffany. We've got
and
to
then
get creative.
yeah, and it's not like, I wear a range of pretty clothes. I wear the same clothes over and over because I don't want to have to make those decisions. In
Yes,
fact, all
yes,
of
yes.
like, and then like sharing your food as like my breakfasts and lunches are the same. So I don't have to think. My dinners have variety, but those things, it's just like,
You
yeah,
you will be surprised, Tiffany. People love that. They love
really.
that, and also you've got the thinking around why you wear the same variation of clothing. I do as
Yeah,
well. I've got a whole wardrobe of clothes, but I only pull out two or three items to wear because I
yeah.
can't be bothered. So I'm exactly the same as well. But
Yeah.
people love that. They love that realness. So you will go far on TikTok sharing, yes, that window
Yeah.
in. I like that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Oh, so many brave things I've got to do.
Yeah.
This is the problem with creating a brand around bravery. I have to.
She who leads herself first. That's you, Tiffany.
Yeah,
We're all
absolutely.
following with you, following your
Absolutely.
lead.
So what brave things do you have coming up in your business in the next 3 to 6 months?
Yes.
Mm,
So, like going back to the whole theme of experimenting,
mm,
I am now hyper focusing on creating 100K in the next 3 months. That is the challenge that I've set myself.
mm,
I've never personally achieved it, but I do believe it's entirely possible because I've collected the evidence of people doing so.
mm,
Even, people doing 100K in 10 days. But I just thought, okay, Grace, place yourself into it. So I've given myself 3 months, and there with that, I'll be hyper focusing on TikTok
mm,
to do that and just documenting and sharing my journey. But there's no attachment really to the results. I kind of want to have just fun along the way, just fun in the process, the journey, documenting it. Oh, okay, that
mm,
didn't work, so that it just keeps the whole process step by step just very much real, that people can connect to it. And
mm,
I always look at when other people set such challenges and they always reach it. And I always think, what about those that don't reach their target? What
mm,
happens to them? But not that I'm dwelling on that side of things, but I just want to kind of be the face to show people
mm,
that, just everyday normal people like me. I've got, less than 2,000 people
mm,
following me, but
mm,
I just want to prove to myself that this is possible. And I'm going out there with that kind of
mm.
energy as
Yeah.
well.
Oh my gosh. I love that. And actually the big brave goals like that, that's the stuff that I stand for and that I help people do. The whole shoot for the moon, land on the
Yeah.
stars. Like even if you don't make it to the moon, you're gonna
Hmm.
land somewhere. Then if you'd have just said, oh, I just wanna change things, increase by 10% this year or
Yeah.
something like that. So
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Exactly.
the 100,000 in 3 months, is that 100,000 per month income or just 100,000 in that 3 month period?
In that 3 months. In
Period.
that three
Yeah.
months, I'm going
Mm,
for it. Yeah. Yeah.
mm,
And then thereafter, yeah, well, the sky's the limit. The sky's the limit.
yeah.
They always say that it's easier to make $1 million than 100K. So
Mm.
that might be my next goal after the 100K.
Sorry, it's easier to make $1 million than 100K. I haven't heard that
Yes,
one.
that's
Yeah.
what that's what some of the top gurus and
Yeah.
coaches say out there. So
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
intrigued. So that's going to be my next brave goal
Mm.
thereafter.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's definitely my one of my big goals, but I've got to work my way up to that. So yeah, this I definitely agree though. I think the first 100K is the hardest. I mean, like they say the majority of online business owners are earning less than the
Yeah,
100K a year. Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah.
It's true. Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
this is a little experiment. I'm going to go out there, play for curiosity, and yeah, and just document my journey and results.
Yeah.
I'm excited. It's the excitement. It's kind of that burning desire to see,
Mm.
can I do this? Have I got what it takes? As well as documenting my thoughts and feelings every day as I'm going out there as well. I think that's
Mm.
going to be important within this
Yeah.
journey.
Yeah. Oh, wow. So with documenting your thoughts and feelings, do you share those? Are you starting to share that stuff publicly or just documenting for you?
I will share it. I will share it. So I haven't started this yet. So this will
Mm,
probably, I'm trying to think about when to actually start this. It might be March, it might be April,
mm,
but I will be documenting it personally. But this whole journey will be a case study. So I may well just start the
mm,
series day
yeah.
one, my
Mm,
results, and I've seen other
mm, mm,
people on TikTok do the same as well. So I think I might follow their lead and go
mm.
and explore that way of doing it.
Yeah. So sorry, does that mean like sharing it after you've gone through the 3 months and or like or after you've gone through the first month and then sharing, okay, here's what happened, or is that what you mean? Or sharing it while you're
Yeah,
doing
so
it?
Yeah, there's always two ways to do it. You could do it live whilst you're in the process, or maybe do weekly or monthly reflection. So I haven't
Mm.
yet
Yeah.
decided upon which one to do, but I think I'm veering more to the reflections, monthly reflections at the end as I look back to see, okay,
Yeah.
this is what I did. This is what, what challenges I experienced,
Mm.
explaining, why I had to pivot, if I did have to pivot, and that type of thing. Yeah, so I might well
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I've been doing with mine because of the goal setting thing that I have. I've been doing these monthly recaps or like check-ins, goal
Mm,
check-ins, and it's like,
mm.
oh, here's where I'm up to, here's what's happened, and here's what is it? Here's where I self-sabotaged and didn't quite get going on that particular goal, but the other ones just, I've done those okay. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
that's what I'm
yeah,
doing.
yeah, yeah. I think that's a brilliant way of doing it, actually.
Yeah, yeah.
Otherwise, doing it live might get a bit too messy.
Yes.
What's going on? Yeah, I
Although
think I'll stick to monthly reflections.
Yeah. Although I've definitely been trying to work on like the embodiment and just like
Mm,
embodying bravery and how I can share that more and just, here's what that looks like a bit more and the brave things I'm doing and yeah, and
yeah, yeah.
that's all. So yeah.
I love your whole brand and the very essence around it. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, it's definitely helped things for me just because I had so much anxiety and that kind of thing. And then the being brave actually forced me to face things and take
Mm,
actions. And then that actually decreased the anxiety. So,
oh,
yeah,
brilliant,
definitely
brilliant.
helped. So, yeah, and I'm definitely very passionate about it. And I like that it focuses more on the process rather than just the results because I was
Yes,
beating myself up over the lack of results, whereas now it's like, oh no, hey, I was brave, I did the brave things. There's a bit more balance in that perspective. So yeah.
yeah, yeah. And that's what
Yeah.
really counts.
Mhm.
It's,
Yeah.
the little incremental actions that you're taking, overweighs the big results, big end results. The results will always be a byproduct
Mm.
of the amount of action that you're taking as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, definitely. And, when I was beating myself up over you didn't get enough clients this month or that kind of thing, or, a client finished up, but I don't have a
Mhm.
replacement, and that then it was really hard to keep taking actions. Like, as you know, the CTFAR, that circumstances,
Yes,
thoughts, feelings, actions, results, then yeah, it's just really hard to keep taking action because my brain was just going, oh, we'll see, it didn't make it again, you're never going to
yes.
make it. And yeah, so.
Yes, yeah, yeah. The brain loves drama. I mean,
Oh,
this brain up here loves a lot of drama. Yeah. So
yeah.
sometimes I do have to try and silence her.
Mm.
So I,
Yes.
I do a lot of journaling
Mm.
to
Yeah.
override
Yeah.
because, as you know, Tiffany, our brains are hardwired to keep us safe. So
Yes.
if things aren't working in our favor, they'll be like, "Oh, don't do that again. Remember
Hmm.
what happened last time?"
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's what's keeping us stuck in our comfort zone. So it's just,
Yes.
trying to override
Mm.
what's
Yeah.
going on up here.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay, Grace, this has been amazing talking to you. There's so many insights and powerful shifts and all of that good stuff. So, of course, we'll have links to all of your stuff in the show notes. But for anybody who is like me, who's like, oh, I'm just going to go to Instagram or wherever right now, where can people connect with you? Where should they go?
Yes, yes, you can find me hanging out on both Instagram and TikTok. The hashtags or the @ sign, I should say, are the same. Grace Nelson CEO on
Mm.
both platforms. And yeah,
Mm.
I'd love
Yeah.
to connect with you there.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm definitely wanting to follow along on TikTok now and yeah, see
That's going
your
to be a wild
100,
ride.
yeah, your 100K goal and stuff. So
Can't wait. I can't
yeah.
wait.
Mm.
So yeah.
Awesome.
So yeah, join me for my journey. It's going to be a wild ride. I'm excited. We don't know what will happen, but I'm just excited about the day by day process as I go through. And if anything, it's what I learned from it.
Mm.
That's going to be the biggest takeaway from this.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, amazing. Thank you so much, Grace.
Thank you,
And
Tiffany.
thanks for listening to the Business Bravery podcast. Has this episode inspired you to do something brave? Even if it's only send a difficult email, please share it with me on Instagram or other social media channels. Feel free to tag me at Tiffany G Studios. That's TIFFANY G for golf, STUDIOS, no spaces, no underscores, etc. Or you can use the hashtag Business Bravery Podcast so that I can cheer you on, and together we can inspire other coaches and course creators to do brave things in their business and life. Now, I'm Tiffany, and I'll leave you with this one last thing. What's one brave thing you're going to do today? It doesn't have to be big. Even the smallest steps can create the most massive results. So again, feel free to share it with me either publicly or privately so that I can cheer you on. That's it from me. Until next time, bye for now.